Chat, good Monday. Good Monday. I'm changing the playlist because I was kind of on a I was kind of on a kick of listening to hip hop and rap earlier, and I didn't want to leave until I heard the entirety of Miss Jackson. So I'm kind of in a hip hop R&B mood right now. I'm kind of in that mood, and I don't know if Spotify is going to quench that thirst. I don't know, man. I don't know. Do they have? Hold on. We're gonna search. We're searching. We're searching. We're searching for Jesus. No, we're not. Let's see. 2020 mix. The midnight mix. Oh, those are my top mixes. Jungle. Oh my god. They have so much stuff here. Can I like soundtrack of the after baking mix? Korean R&B mix. Wait, hold on, time out. Korean R&B? Is that like are we about to dive into something I've never heard of? Are we about to dive into something I've never heard of? So today, I thought because I already did the Tower of Magic earlier, that I was not gonna do it today. But tomorrow and Wednesday, we'll be back on 14 doing some Phantom job leveling. So if you can wait, where's my model? Oh, I didn't load it. That's crazy. That was actually wild. Hi, Web. Today, you will either hear me get really tilted or you will hear me be completely and utterly just calm. I gotta join Pookie because Pookie's on already. I'm gonna join Pookie. There he is. Unless he wants to join my team. Okay. We've been doing, or he's been doing practice against AI bots. I join and I go along for the ride, pretty much. Go along for the ride. 10 times less sexier? No. No. It only gets sexier. Hi, All Star. I'm trying to find a hip hop and R&B playlist to use for stream today. I cannot find one. Like everything is like soundtrack for your afternoon. Like what's baking mix? Your day in a playlist. Okay, hold on. Let me see. My day list. What is this? I don't know if I want to listen to half of these songs. I just want a hip hop R&B playlist. Let me see if I just do hip hop and R and B. I put R and N. R and B. Oh, never mind. We found it. We got it. Let's play. Suit and tie. Okay, that's crazy. Yes, Parrish is playing. Parrish. Okay, let me tell y'all something, man. This weekend, and Parrish is probably lurking somewhere. We're in Discord together right now. Parrish has been on this game literally every day. Every day. If he's not, like, since that Friday, I don't know if he was on before that Friday, but Friday, Saturday, yesterday, today. Yesterday, he was like, I'm gonna go to bed because he got really tilted at this game. He said, I'm gonna go to bed. And I'm like, all right, he's gonna go to bed. Good night, Pookie. And then I think it was like, I'm trying to think of what time it was for me. It was like, I was on Pal World. It was like 9. I'm not talking shit. I'm just talking about your journey right now. I'm talking about your journey. I'm talking about your journey on, on this game. Anyways, I was saying he said he's going to bed. I think it was like 9:30. I think it was like 9:30 my time or something like that, or 10. And he sends me a TikTok, and then I see him load up Rivals. He's been on it, man. He's been practicing. What he's been doing is studying. Yeah, if you want to add Parish, because I joined Parish. I didn't. I the lobby is out of my hands today, for once. The lobby is out of my hands today. Oh yeah, I showed him. Sorry if I coughed in y'all's ear. I still have a bit of the cough. It's already set to Frankfurt. I'm sorry. Sorry to tell you. It's already set to Frankfurt. I'm sorry to tell you, bruh. No, it's fine. I'm used to it. Remember, I set it to North Virginia. So my settings when I have y'all in is I have on North Virginia. I think I have Dallas on, and I have Frankfurt. I have these three on, but it defaults to Frankfurt. It defaults to Frankfurt no matter what. So I think we play on Frankfurt more than we play on these two. Yeah, it's fine. What is my ping on Frankfurt right now? 100? It's fine. I mean, my aim isn't really that great. My aim hasn't really been that great. So, like, if I ball out somehow, you know. If you know, you know. I'm cheating. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, if you want to add Parish, hold on. I was going to redo my settings real quick while we're waiting for people to join. This is Parish's name right here. Wait, can I, like, menu you? This is his name. This is UID. Actually, can I put your UID in the chat? You don't mind? Yeah, because he's lead. Unless he makes me lead, then I... Do what you want. I don't care, lovingly. Okay, I'm not going to put his UID in the chat. I'm putting it in the chat. So I can add it. I'm putting it in the chat. Add him. Or you can just search his name, which is right here. He's been playing. I'm sorry to tell you, Web, but he's been playing a lot of Wanda. He's been slaying as Wanda. He's really been slaying as Wanda. He's gone from like Cloak and Dagger to Wanda. It's the only way I can kill fucking Spider-Man. That too. He's gone to Wanda. Well, okay, yeah, you're right. Cloak and Dagger, Hawkeye, then Wanda. That's been his progression. It's been that progression. Is there anywhere where we can like watch Brand New Day without having to go to the theaters? One close range, one far away range, one healer, one Vanguard. Okay, I'm spreading my legs. You better be spreading your legs for me. What? Who's that? That's crazy. That's crazy. Wild. Crazy. No. Let me tell you why. Every game we've been in, It's more like I'm Strange and he's Wanda. And the reason why, yeah, people hate Wanda. I hate Wanda. I'm not a Wanda fan. I'm a Wanda hater. Webb is also a Wanda hater, and I believe so is Angel. So you have three of us who are Wanda haters. Yeah, I put the UID in chat as well. Ooh, hello? But the thing that I always say is just like what they say with me when I play Namor. It's because it's you, Parrish. Because it's us. Because we're sexy. They don't care. It's so tough to let slide. He's sexy, so you have to let it slide. You have to. But God, I fucking hate Wanda. No, she is the bane of my existence. She is literally the bane of my existence. But you know who's more the bane of my existence over her? This bitch. That's right, I said it. That's right, I said it. This bitch. I fucking hate her. With such a passion. I can deal with Wanda. But this bitch? Oh. Oh. We can't have that trash on my screen. I tried out Wolverine a little bit. I might actually pick him if I can get on Duelist today. If I can get on Duelist today without the fucky shit that we've had happen in the last 2 days over the weekend, then I'll try Wolverine outside of a bot match. Still get MVP. Yeah, like, dude. Wolverine seems... Nah, he's not busted, but like, he seems fun. Just from like the little bit of stuff I've done. In practice range with him. My lowest ping server? Well, for me is North Virginia, but next to that, Oregon or Dallas would be like the most. That's not an NA. Well, you're seeing it. Well, you're seeing it. It's NA or I die. What's Dallas for you? What's Dallas or Oregon? I feel like, well, that's because Virginia is East Coast, United States. So that's a little closer for you. Okay, yeah, then put up Northern Virginia then. I think for Webb, you said Dallas works for you? Whenever you join? What does that mean? It will just pick between the three, pretty much. But it ain't perfect. Do you want to switch Discords? Harry? I didn't know whether or not I wanted to say Pookie or if I wanted to say Parrish. My brain just like buffered. But you guys can? I don't want to leave you alone. That's why I asked. Though we're not talking in Discord. We're just like reviving. Us two are just vibing in the club. What? We are. We're just vibing. Mm-hmm. I do too. See, we're a match made in heaven. We both We both literally. Excuse me. It's because I have these A50s and the bass from the game kind of overwhelms my music sometimes. But like I can hear clunky ass Captain America coming from a mile away. Like I still hear. I also have a mixer, so that also explains it. Yes. Well, I don't hear his ASMR, but I hear his footsteps. I hear when he thunk 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 thunk. Same with any heavy character. Hulk, Cap. Yeah, see, I do the same thing. Yeah, I have a mixer though, so I can turn down music so that I hear the game more, and I can turn the game like all the way up if I want. Like right now, the music's all the way up because I'm just talking. We're not in game yet. Oh, let me switch my mice before we go in. Yeah, I don't hear his breathing, but I hear his footsteps. I really just go off of footsteps because that's what I've been taught when I play shooters like Siege. I think it's only when you're playing Cap. Probably. I need to play Tokon. I really want to play that game. It looks so fun. I think I've seen Justin go live with it. Justin Wong. I've seen a few. I cannot. If people are talking too much, I can't. Like in Siege, when people were like trying to give call outs right when I'm trying to listen for footsteps, that's when I'm like, I want people to shut the fuck up. That's when. No, I get like people are being helpful, but there are times where like I'm trying to hear, and then there's someone that's just like, yo bro, he's like 50 degrees left. He's like north by northwest, bro. You saw him. Like, no bitch, I didn't. Bro, he's over there. Where is over there? Give me a proper call out. If you're not gonna give me a proper call out, shut the fuck up. Anyways, it's bringing back old memories. It's bringing back really old memories from when I play Siege. it's bringing them back. That was the #1 call out that we got. Also, you can start whenever, or unless you made it. Oh, you made me lead. I've been sitting here yapping this whole time without noticing. Are you guys ready? I didn't realize. Hold on. Let me put back on Frankfurt. There we go. Okay. I didn't even realize it, bro. I was like, I'm yapping. I'm like, why haven't we queued yet? Also, why is Wanda my screen? Hold on. That's crazy. I know I did, but I was like, wait. I didn't know I got promoted to party lead, so I was just vibing, talking. I don't know where Wolverine is. I'll just go tank or something if I have to. You do you. I'll go tanky.
Open your eyes. Reality is but an illusion.
I gotta put him in my like top thing or whatever, my squad, because I do want to play him, but and I can't sing. I'm sorry. I am
Magic is
still
not the only
recovering from
invisible
coughing,
force in play
so
here.
my voice is fucked.
30 seconds before you attack.
My voice is
Get
incredibly fucked still.
Okay, real talk? Your whole glowing dagger thing? Super cool.
Yours too, Jubilee.
I must
Way
confess,
more colorful. I'm stuck with the glowy white.
it's killing
Plus,
me,
you have eyes
and
now.
I.
I try to keep it fun.
Absolutely.
Someone likes your skin, Parrish. Oh my god, it's
4,
beautiful.
3, 2, 1.
I don't know who said that, but hello? Oh no, I'm being help. Oh. In like 20-25 minutes, okay. I thought my shield was up though. Am I getting? Hello, sir. Nice too. This is the second time we got this map. Sorry if I took someone's kill. No, you gotta be shitting me, bro. This fucking dinosaur with that stupid shit. Oh my god. Dude, I can't even hear my music. So if you're wondering how I can still play with music on, I can barely hear my music right now. Okay, yeah, I can invite you in.
You fizzled out fast, Jubilee.
You fizzled out fast, Jubilee.
There. Don't turn back now.
Oh my god, this bitch was not in my sight.
Now, stop healing!
I hear a dinosaur.
Vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Our enemies are near.
She's dead. Get out of here. Your breath stinks.
Pure faith harvested and stored within this sphere.
My aim seems to be okay right now. Hello? Dangerous. Oh, it's Daredevil. I was like, is that Black Panther? I just forfeit IRL. That's so crazy. That's a forfeit IRL. Damn. Damn, man.
Almost there. Don't turn back now.
Is this all of my music? Your powers are mine.
An unseen assist. Don't drown.
Oh my fucking god, bro. Dinosaur
Time to
breath?
shine.
Stanky. Disgusting. I can't believe it.
Mortal pain.
Vehicle moving again.
I think I'm dying more because I'm trying to get rid of like Moon Knight and shit. Okay, that's not
Restore faith if we wish to succeed.
Who is hitting me? I'm fucked here. I'm fucked here. I didn't know we all died. Yeah, I'm dying far too much.
Mortal pain is no match for the Sorcerer
Get that
Supreme.
vehicle moving again!
The moon haunts you. Power beyond sight.
I think the fact that all that stuff can make it through that shield kind of sucks. Like, if my shield is
Hands are
up,
shaking again. Focus.
every melee can just like walk through, get behind me, and just fuck me up. The Star Sword should not be that oppressive, honestly.
I am strength. I attack the foe. Hunt that. Ionic magic.
Doctor Strange is
All right, I'll change. Wait, do I have another Agamotto 38? Yeah, I can change. I'm just gonna go Groot. I'm sorry, Wanda. Actually, one second. You are so right. Oh yeah, I have the skin, by the way.
When we stand as family.
Get that vehicle moving again!
I did not shield whatsoever. All right, hold on. We need to group up. We need.
A gift from Khonshu, or perhaps a curse. You need not fear.
Perfect.
We must not use the moon haunts. Your powers are mine.
Get that vehicle moving again!
We were doing so well. I don't know what happened. I sincerely don't know what happened.
Mutants,
Only 60 seconds left!
you shall not be harmed. It seems we have company. Armed and dangerous.
Tankful might work here.
Armed and dangerous. Mutants
I don't think I've
always
ever learned how to
rise
play
against
Deadpool, especially as tank. So I don't know if that would.
Down to 30 seconds!
All right, we gotta get on point.
Final 10 seconds! Nowhere yet! Going to overtime!
All right, I'm gonna lock in here for a second. I tried to get that man. I suck ass.
Vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Face oblivion. You
Rest easy now.
Is that a Laura Dino? I think so. I did just really bad on that one.
again.
Did we get the? Oh no, it's literally just us having to get to this point. All right, I'm gonna have to alt if they're all.
Only 60 seconds left.
That is insane.
You cannot hurt me.
Don't let anything stand in your way.
This barge will deliver our salvation. You
Down to 30 seconds.
Ah! I'm so mad I only got like one person with that ult though. Oh my god, yes!
mutants always rise again.
Jeez Louise on a Sunday afternoon. Yes, sir.
The
I
final
see
10
you.
seconds. Get that vehicle
Get to
moving
point, get to
again.
point. I'm coming back.
Co-op time.
The ult, bro. The ult.
Nowhere yet. Going to laser time.
Huh? Did I not have my... Oh, I didn't have my F yet.
Light time to shine.
I shall not be removed.
I'm
so
dying far
easily.
too much for this. For us to actually make a good, decent push in. That was a good ult. I'm sorry it was wasted.
Well, you can't.
That was a
expect
really
to
good
do
ult.
all.
Nah, Parrish, you did great, man. The choke point that happened in that Angel, is that your ult? Were you doing that to us? Oh my god, I can't believe it. You know what? Everyone just gets one. Me, Dino, never. Excuse me. Yeah, SVP. You learned how to play Wanda and you just like... No. The thing is that off of that ult alone, we should have been able to push in a lot more. Oh, Loki is a D1 cock block. That's crazy. I just read that. After that ult went off, that should have been like the point where we could have, it should have like pushed in more, and we just could not get over that. The ult, Wanda, because Parrish took out like 4 or 5 people, almost like a clean wipe. So all of us there after that should have been like a good push right the rest of the way. Juby's kind of buns. It depends. I've seen some strong ones, but it is fairly easy to... Yeah. So it depends. Yeah, the ult from Parrish was pretty good. Okay, you guys ready? Sorry. Yeah, we're gonna try. Hold on real quick. Let me do this really quick before I forget. Logan? Logan? You know who would never be in the squad? Her. She would never be in the strike squad. She would never be in the strike squad. I was about to start. I was about to hit start. Like now. There we go. Oh, I should have turned on Dallas since we have Angel in here now. I can't say delete Wanda anymore. Yeah. Listen, Parrish is
The
doing
right
his
heroes
thing
could make
on the
all
Wanda.
the difference.
Anyone stands in my way, they won't be standing much
Paris, if you still want
longer.
to play DPS, I can just switch. I don't mind. Okay, I'll go tank then.
Open your eyes. Reality
Actually, I'm gonna try
is
Deadpool.
buffalo loot.
I love the way you make me tingle inside, Remy. I promise I won't tell Rogue.
Oh!
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong. Peter? Nah, is it really you?
Well, I was gonna have to Vanguard anyways. Look, we'll do it. We'll do the thing.
Maybe not. It is a big multiverse after all.
Either way, we're together now.
You did say you want to play one Vanguard at some
Battle
point.
starts in 5, 4,
What's his shield
3,
again? Is it E?
2, 1.
Oh no, it's his other one.
Unicorn, I choose
You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
I keep forgetting. Deadpool is so different on tank because I think it's like if you go to his what you call it, it's
Ah, you sent us back to spawn.
okay. Maybe I should have stuck with what's his name for now. Maybe.
There's still a chance to stop them.
Okay, that's
Stop
that.
vehicle.
You can't handle the cute.
I'm over here just trying to figure out stuff.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Oh, did you clear these guys?
Looks like we've got ourselves.
Well, I tried. Oh, he doesn't throw swords on tank, does he? That's only on DPS. Never mind. Never mind. I was kind of hoping that I could throw sword. Where am I at for all right now? Okay, never mind. I'll just switch.
Better stop that vehicle. Double KO.
I'll just switch. I'm not gonna go through it
Still a
now.
chance to stop them.
Trying to learn that on the fly right now is probably not the best.
Now might be a good time to stop them. They got behind you. Careful, Ty.
Someone needs to get Punisher too. Yeah, someone needs to get Punisher as well.
Power beyond sight.
Oh, and we lost the guy, so
I have unfinished business.
solo
here.
tanking.
You are real.
Better stop that vehicle.
You get a web, and you get a web, and you get a web.
Okay, good alt.
Always glad to help.
You could have been a hero.
A low
right?
alt.
This feels empty, yet somehow dangerous.
Always glad to help.
I am strengthened for battle.
They have a Jeff.
Always glad to help.
Who is? What is this mean?
He stopped them in their
Okay.
tracks.
Judge, jury, executioner. By the eye of Agamotto.
That did not get him. It sucks because we need a shield.
Let me draw.
Oh, we did get someone
I
else.
have unfinished business here.
Okay.
Better stop that vehicle. It's now or never. Stop
That team up with
An unseen assist.
good job. Get Frank out of there.
A deadly deal indeed, Mr. LeBron.
Get that goddamn fish.
Two of a kind.
Nice.
Stop them in their tracks.
An unseen assist.
Nice. He is so weak up there.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Oh, look up behind you.
An unseen assist.
That still went through my shield. I've had one dino do that for me.
Mortal pain is
I
no
think it was
match for the
either.
Sorcerer Supreme.
Oh damn, only one. Okay.
Be right back.
You got a jump block? Oh, that's crazy actually. And then of course Sphinx behind me. Oh, I didn't know I was the only one up there.
Just the boost I need.
Hands
That
are
was on
shaking
port.
again. Focus.
A winning hand.
Oh my god, it's so dark in my room. Why is Dino back here?
You need to
Sorry, Wanda.
Us against the world. You get a weapon, you get a weapon. Co-op time.
Ionic magic.
I am strengthened.
By the eye of Agamotto.
That was a terrible one.
He stopped them in their tracks.
Power beyond sight.
Nobody can stand up against the full strength Scarlet Witch.
And then I died anyways. Nah, I fucked up on the alt. I think so, but I was low health on that one. After, not me coming out of the shadows.
That's three.
I'm so sorry. We can't go too far.
He stopped them in their tracks.
Let me back up. Oh, very nice. Damn. Fuck this fish up.
Nobody can stand up against a full-strength Scarlet Witch. I am strengthened for battle.
Is this man literally just jumping his way to the point? Where is this man going?
Ionic magic!
Oh, we can literally just jump that, I guess.
Final 10 seconds.
Power beyond sight!
Nowhere yet. Going to overtime.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Got him! Most of them.
I have unfinished business here.
I was like, if there were follow-ups after that, cool, man.
Another egg.
Yay! Look at us. We're so cool. It still heals even on cloaks. Clock it. Oh my god, it reminds me of the this TikTok I saw of this guy playing WWE 2K26, I think. He's either 26 or 25. And they have the clock it like fingers in there as a pose for your creative superstar. And the way he's like, he started doing a whole dance routine off of it. It was so funny. Damn, I got 10,000 damage with Strange. Crazy. I blocked so much though. My accuracy's been better with him. I don't know what server we're on, but yeah, you do. Let me see. What's your damage? 18k. Jesus. Yeah. Cyclops still had the most out of everyone though. And this 13. You beat him out by one final. You beat him out by one final. Would you agree that sometimes the... Oh, I didn't even check. Okay, it's running buff Gene. Okay, yeah. John J. We have a severe thunderstorm? Oh!
The right heroes could make all the difference.
We do have a severe thunderstorm going. I'm seeing where everyone is going before I make a decision. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go tank anyways. So, oh, someone's already Deadpool. I'm gonna play.
You picked the right gal for the job, sugar.
What is that, user?
I can always count on you to keep me fired up, Remy.
Let them cook.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
I know that look all too well.
Let them no, let them cook.
You want to tell me what's going through your pretty little
Let them cook.
It's just, well, this ain't exactly the honeymoon
Let them cook.
you promised me, Remy.
I know, but if we gotta be fighting this
I
fight,
want to be a cowgirl, baby. I want to be a cowgirl. I don't know why I thought of that just now. It's so funny to me.
One heck of a date. You have to stop them from securing
You
the
owe me
share.
one heck of a date.
looks like we've got
No matter the
You know
odds,
what?
we'll
What if I
find a
go
way.
behind? Speaking of going behind.
Aw, look what you made me do. Careful, young sniper.
Never mind. This is not a... I shouldn't have gone that far in. I thought I had my... What's their name? The dead... Oh, that's why. I didn't see their name. I didn't see their name. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Don't let them cook. No, don't. Damn, I shouldn't have done that. Be careful. I need to switch because I can't do her in this situation. I'll try Emma.
As cold as diamond.
Damn, she got a fat ass.
How
Anyways.
delightfully on brand.
I thought that actually blocked it, but I guess not. Yeah, when what's his name? When Hood gets to that point,
You might want to look over here.
she didn't die. I did that so I can get myself back in position. Damn, I can't do anything. I can't do anything there. She gets pulled. Yeah, I thought I caught her before she went in. And I guess not.
You can't be rid of me so easily.
I'm gonna change again because I'm not doing anything with her.
Magic is not the only invisible force in play here.
Okay, they left.
Stop them!
They left. We're free from the name. We're free from it. Oh my god. That was crazy. My bad. I didn't recognize the name. Do they have a Wanda on their team? Or am I just... Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, what happened to... What happened to All-Star? Did All-Star leave? I didn't see if All-Star said he was dipping out for a game. I'm sorry, my bad.
Just who Gambit would look. Got eyes on one of them.
Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't see that.
Power beyond sight.
Please, we're hurt.
There was someone like over here. Oh, there he is.
Somehow dangerous.
Someone's shooting him. You best check this out.
I hear someone.
We stopped them in their tracks.
Look out the snap.
Why did he come back like that? I'm not hitting anything right now, bro.
Power beyond sight.
Yeah, but I also have people in front of me.
By the shades of the
Yeah, I didn't realize
Seraphim, I return.
All-Star left.
You are nothing.
Yeah, we have a severe thunderstorm. That hit me. What the hell?
Cheers, mate.
We have a severe thunderstorm warning. I didn't even realize it started.
Please forgive me.
Good medicine.
We stopped them in their tracks. Dinner time. Only 60 seconds left.
Nice.
Beware, a sniper.
Ah. Yeah, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Nothing is hitting.
By the eye of Agamotto. Fried your Power beyond sight.
Nice job.
I am
I think there was a guy up there, right? Right.
Just a little longer. We stopped them in their tracks.
Perfect precision.
Final 10 seconds.
Back it up. I'd also like back it up. Why is this box blocking me every time? All right, well, back out. We'll get All-Star.
Big win.
Whatever. Are you close? You did a great job, Pookie. I don't know these people. Man, I don't know these people. Yeah, I was like, whoa, when did we lose All-Star? Okay, so for the record, we do not stand that name that was in our lobby before. We do not stand. Clarify. I did not see the name. I didn't read the name at all. I was just like, he's playing Deadpool. Let him cook. I thought it was about Deadpool. I didn't know it was about... I didn't know it was about his name. I know he said user. I was like, no, let him cook. He's playing Deadpool. Let him cook. Let him cook on Deadpool. No. My himbo ass. No, we should not. I gotta pee. I'm gonna be right back. Get something to drink. I need a break after that anyways. Be right back. I don't want to be a player no more. Whoa. Big Punisher has got what you're looking for. Sorry, this is a good song, man. It's a good song. It's a good song. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta turn off this headset. For some reason, every time I stream and I do... Oh, I hear the thunder. Did I see lightning? If I see lightning, I'm gonna have to get off. I won't get thunderstorms. No, maybe this is the one time I should have gone live earlier. Maybe this is the one time. Data player, I just crush a lot. Do you know that it took me a while to notice that he's saying Borica? Borica? because Big Punisher is Puerto Rican. And I was like, oh, never mind. I just saw lightning. This is gonna suck, but let me check weather. Hold on. I may have to get off, actually. I need to check something. I gotta get off. On Fort. I gotta get off. It's storming. Yeah, it's weather. I think Lucian is on. Let me see. No, definitely don't want a repeat of last time. We remember the last time I was in the middle of a dungeon. And then all of a sudden that lightning struck and I was like, oh. Yeah, Lucian's on. Lucian just started. They are also playing Rivals, so you get your Rivals fix from there. Go say hi to Lucian. Let him know that I said hi. And that, well, I'll probably join on mobile or something. But sorry. I apologize. I will see y'all tomorrow. I don't know how long this storm is going to last, so I'll just say I'll see y'all tomorrow. Sorry again. Bye-bye.